trying to get in here. So, oh my gosh, here I am. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. So, my gosh. Uh, I was trying to get here as quickly as I could. I just had a lot going on. Uh, I know I was going live today, at least. So, anyway, at least I'm here now. And so, what is it that? Oh, there we go. So that what is it that we needed? Oh, so this is to celebrate the Bitcoin. I just want to be very, like, emphatically, absolutely, unequivocally, correct that yes, uh, Bitcoin is like forever. It's going to bring about like a great success. Absolutely, success. That's what it will bring, and it's a good thing, actually. The Bitcoin. Hmm. Yeah, Bitcoin is quite useful. It has so many factors that comes with it. I think it's about opening up doors. Bitcoin. It's just a lot that there's to say, and what it represents. Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually is something that is absolutely integral, because in my opinion, it Bitcoin represents healing. I think. I think is because it seems that it derails the idea that like maybe like one side, or yeah, one side can completely shift and change, because we know symbolically what cryptocurrency represents. It represents kind of like what they call it, like a beta trial, for a maybe a unified economy, like a universal economy, to be exact. It could represent that. Um, Nonetheless, it's very real. It's not going away. And they said, you know, in layman, like in basic terminology, Bitcoin is, like they said, it is gold of the um, data community. So yeah, it's like gold, but in data language. It's like the gold um, of like artificial intelligence, or computer. What was the word that they used, actually? Uh, the gold is supposed to be representing the gold of electronics, of the digital marketplace. Uh, Digital representation of gold. Now, Bitcoin is a digital representation of gold, specifically to Bitcoin. So I love that idea. When, oh, welcome. A pleasure. Psychic Donna. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome. A pleasure. Hmm. Oh, I would never. Right. But I will. But I have to. I have to admit, though, I'm not going to be able to mention anything on the death circuit on the line. Okay. But I will. I will be honest. You know, be generous and honest with you, of course. Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, let's take a look and see what we gather here. So, what I can see is this. Um, the realms illustrate that he and you are. Um, I keep hearing that he and you are in a very unique, like a situation, and it feels like you both are just hanging on by a mere thread. I get that strong sense. And it's a matter of how do you both intend to continue and having the best, I guess, experience together that he and you possibly can share at the moment, present. Specifically at this very second we're talking about this. And he doesn't know exactly what he should be doing to make this smoother or easier for you. He just doesn't simply know. He doesn't have the answer. He's going to be very quiet, and that could be very frustrating if he's not telling you, like what he's thinking, feeling, etc. You have to pick his brain. You have to like look at him and see. But I can tell that he's meant to be around, or at least in your life. I definitely see that he's supposed to be here. Is what I see, and he will. He's supposed to be here with you. That will happen. That part. Hmm. I see you two having a breakthrough and getting past this, getting back together. And I think he just didn't know what to think, or what to think, or he doesn't know what to say. Most importantly, like it's like he doesn't know how to formulate what he's thinking about his predicament and tell you these things, because I don't think that it's like he doesn't even like what words does he use. Like he says, like the guy that says, well, what do you want him to say? So he doesn't say it. But yes, he is going to be, the breakthrough will happen though. Mm-hmm. It'll happen. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that is an absolute tough one right there. And it does talk about you know he and you being at this final stage of his and your connection, things like that, like things, this breakthrough, it represents a whole nother type of connection, or a final, no, like the final part into it, entering into a new start. It does represent that. And I bet it has a lot to do with him not knowing really how to formulate words, put things into words for you, is what I believe. But I'm also seeing here reunion elements here. It's almost like they're describing where, like, unplanned meeting or getting back to, like, reconnecting, more or less. Reunion, coming back together again, is what I see. And he at least wants to keep it, that you two would be coming back together, but as, maybe as friends, to start out, or to start things slow, or relationship, but start the relationship again slower. That's his idea. But he just doesn't know what to say to you, how to say it. Hmm. So that's what you're having to deal with, because, like, you don't know what's going on in his mind, because he hasn't told you, and he's not knowing exactly what words to use. That's what's going on. That's what it is. Absolutely. Okay. Well, be patient. Okay. Good luck. Bye. All right. Mm, remember, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to talk with them about the dead. My spirits told me not to, because they play too much. It's not because they're demonic, which they're demonic, and they, um, unfortunately, they tend to twist spirituality, and they twist death and universal. Yeah, so I'm not allowed to do that for them. So I don't. Gosh. So instead, I guide them to what I always guide them to what they can control. So that's how I deal with that. I am a medium. Um, I understand the readings of the empath. These two, I actually I utilize the two of them, but not in the way that people would like me to. In other words, hmm yeah, I connect very differently because I don't become empathic when I'm doing empathic readings. I know how to do it without getting invested, and but people want that. You know, it's like very alluring, tempting for them. But I have to protect my energy. And then the mediumship, I think people play way too much. So I don't talk about death with them because I don't think, well, it's because it typically happens, it's more like a test reading. So yeah, that was a test reading, by the way. And so there's like an overemphasis, and it shouldn't be an overemphasis of this, like how I would, yeah, to me, I think it's just playing games. So I just refuse to play it. Hmm. And a test read is when people who are hired for the company, just to get a feel for how you would answer questions or work with clients. So somebody will call in for the representing the company and then posing as a client. And but I know, I'm like, real clients don't ask these kinds of questions, and that means that they would be so psychic they would know what kind of questions clients would ask. So now I think they could add, I think they could, and plus I mean, well, I've got a lot to say on that subject. One second. Welcome, it's a pleasure. Psychic Donald. Okay. Welcome. Okay. And so your question, I believe that we were stating that he doesn't know the words to say to you. He doesn't know what words to use to put into words of what's going on with him. That's why it's going to be a bit frustrating because you're not going to be able to read him or know where you should be if you're not getting any information, not really, about how you can help, or even if he wants to help. I think he's having a terrible time telling you bad news. I think he's the worst. His worst concern is to dump everything on you and make it your responsibility, or to give you the worst news and like all month, all year, and he just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't have the heart to do it. He'd rather keep it from you. Yeah, right. Um, I don't see a move for him. I do see him getting out of the house some though. That I do see. Mm-hmm. Mm. He's a little bit lost on how to say things, and when he does not say things, he does push away. He does, as you say, push people away when he doesn't know what to, because to him he's thinking he doesn't want to hurt them. Like he doesn't want to hurt you with the bad with news, or he doesn't want to use his words to hurt you, so he pushes you away. He doesn't know how to bring you in and just let you come into the conversation. He doesn't know how to do that very well. Okay. Hmm. And because of the nicely part, emphasize that. He doesn't. He's afraid that when he say it, it may be a bombshell, and he doesn't want to do that to you. I think it just has a lot to do with just life. This is where he's at in life. Where he now remember these are words he can't even say in his own words. Okay, so it's just I think it's not related like with cheating or anything. I think it's more with life, like life things, like what is he going to be doing for 2025 going forward? Where do you see himself in the next 3 months? Those kinds of questions. I wouldn't be able to read it anyway, so I won't go there. Right. Hmm. I just the only vision that they give is that he just doesn't know what to say. He doesn't have the words to put or to put he doesn't have the words to put into conversation. He does want you there. He doesn't want you necessarily around to see bad things happen or things kind of be upside down with him. He doesn't want you to have to go through anything. Like, this is his way of keeping this out of sight, out of mind. Maybe this is a way of him protecting you. He thinks, even though clearly that's not what you want. You didn't ask to be protected, but this is what's going. This is how he's choosing to handle it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Right. So what I can see is this. I do get the sense that you will. I am seeing the towers. And they're saying that you needed to, like your good fortune to guide you into towards this, as you say, a house that is going to belong to you. I have a sense that this is happening over the next few weeks as well. This is over the next weeks. I'm sensing 3 to 4 weeks because it seems to me that this is going to represent our new year as well, 2025. But like January specifically. Like I don't see you in the current situation or living situation for very long. Not for very long at all, actually. So it's gonna happen for you, yes. Mm, indeed. Well, you will have the breakthrough. You will have the ability to go into a different direction. Absolutely. You're revising. You're doing a little bit of revising as it pertains to your house. Absolutely. You are. You're revising. Yes. You're revising a new plan, a plan that's a little bit more secure, that's going to offer you security. Your 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 issue now is creating your own security, but it's going to be out of your creation, though. And it's only going to be with yourself. That's going to add and give you the security. Not from, not from his perspective. He doesn't seem to be very open-minded about that. Not in the same context as maybe what was like discussed before, because here you entering into a new space, so it's going to be very new understanding, very new agreement. I get the sense that you're going to have your very own space, meaning your very own house, home, and one that offers you security, is what I see. But it won't, not maybe not with him, but connected with him from time to time. I just see that you will have the ability from there to be in a very good place. That's when I see you in a good place, like you're in your highest vibration. And he is willing to speak with you during those times. You seem to also be safe, most importantly, and he's not worrying so much about you. But you're also finding yourself. You're finding yourself. Yeah, you're finding yourself. Hmm. Yeah, you're finding yourself, because this situation, unfortunately, has not helped you. Okay, so then it's about you finding yourself. Some things are out of your control. This is one of them. But what is in control is yourself and your situation. And that's going to get you the security you seek. It's going to come through you. It's not going to come through him. But you will find it, though. You will find it. 4 weeks. And Jupiter is ahead of you and bringing you good energy. And also, it allows room for you to expand and to turn the goodwill fortune in your behalf. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on there. So, all right. That's a test reading. Yeah. I'm only going to spend only but so much time. Mm-hmm. Because real clients, I don't want to I don't want to like speak in dramas, because real clients ask for questions. So you all don't talk like that. I know exactly how you all talk and the questions you all ask. So to me, it's kind of like trying to be tempting, or trying to see, well, just in case, well, like, what if? They shouldn't test like that. They should just test like, hi, my name is, to see if, the way you, maybe how you do the phone, certain things like that. But I don't think they should. But the thing is, it leaves because it's freestyling. Yeah, they tend to play a little bit too much, and that's where I usually like, cut them loose. Usually. Oh, Bitcoin is the gold. It's what they call it, the gold of the digital marketplace. Bitcoin specifically, and so Bitcoin is, I have made predictions of it driving the market. Bitcoin literally drives the market. It'll drive the market in the way that when they have deliberately sometimes made their number go down, and when they do, they put the weight on the other currencies, cryptocurrencies. And when they go up, they're basically driving the the prices up. Like people have, I mean, the other cryptocurrencies have to compete with them, which I predicted cannot be done. And I know people have had their thoughts about Bitcoin, but I stand by all of my psychic predictions concerning Bitcoin. And now look at it. People said it had no chance of going breaking 80. It did it like within a week's time, and then it reached into, actually it broke 100. It broke six figures. They said it would never break six figures. They did it within a week. That wasn't supposed to happen. They miscalculated and got that so wrong. Yeah, I was like, no, it will break 100,000. It broke 100,000 right now. It's just like at like, oh, by the way, it kind of had to get through the retrograde. So like today, well, more like tomorrow, it will start to traject upwards again. Yeah, and also by turn of the year, Bitcoin will have the good fortune of entering into the six-figure mark. So, yeah. hmm So it certainly will happen at that time. We're talking about Bitcoin over here. Bitcoin, six figures, and and six figures. It will bring about. Um, what will it do? I think it's challenging the idea, the concept of what people wanted to do with cryptocurrency as a universal currency. Um, I think that the group who wanted to capture it, I'm not sure if that falls in the lines of those who were. I tend to, okay, so I'm kind of thinking in terms of black and white. Okay, so left-minded people, left wing people, and then right-wing people. Sometimes I contribute, but I should look at it a little bit with more of a gray area. That just people wanted um, Pluto. Pluto was like working alongside Uranus or Pluto in Aquarius. That would be definitely 1,000% cryptocurrency right there. Um, well, people wanted to capture Pluto. Pluto is its own planet, a major planet at that, and an honorary planet, first of its kind. Um, right. So it was reinstated as a major planet, which I talk about. Well, it's, I mean, without people saying it, Pluto, capturing Pluto would mean it's like capturing the banking system, basically what it represents. Um, but it dressed it up as, power, and they're like, oh, you don't want this little chunk of rock. They didn't think anyone would miss it. It's an asteroid. It's a dwarf planet, and all of those were false. Um, because 2008 happened, and you already know symbolically what that. When I say that, you know what you think when I say 2008 and so forth. But here we are here again, Pluto having entered into Aquarius. So we know the integral, like what makes that so important? Yes, money. what makes it important. The banking systems, particularly, Aquarius planet is not Pluto. Obviously, it's Uranus. So we got the crypto, the money aspect, and the electric, the air, the way communicating through money, which is definitely cryptocurrency. What cryptocurrency represents, what it does. hmm So that's where we are all at. That's where we're at currently, and yeah, people are focused on that. People are indeed thinking about this, and I think people's minds are people's minds are in this space of like wanting autonomy, independence, and so cryptocurrency, when what people wanted to be able to come in and do was to create a currency, kind of like come in on their own and back it. But clearly it states that doesn't matter like where you are on the financial realm. Okay, to be honest, I'm being dodgy right now. Okay, so Elon Musk and all his powers, he created like a Elon coin or something like that, doggy coin, and a few, and maybe another one, and it didn't work out. And he has all of the money in the world to make to make a digital product like a cryptocurrency, and even he could not match up. I mean, he fared well, but at the level of all the competitors of Bitcoin who don't have a shot at all. Like there's a huge difference. It's kind of like saying in the like you excel well at the bottom percent. The bottom 15 to 16% you fare quite well. But so far as being at the very top, which Bitcoin would be more like, right now is functioning at least 100 and some number. Well, I know it dipped by a few dollars. Okay, so instead of so it's more like 997. No, excuse me, 97,000. So it's like by a few $1,000s. And so by a few $1,000s, it might be off a little bit, but and then I think that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's I'm gonna assume that's right. But anyway, it's going to flip back up, and then it's operating at 100+ percent capacity. And now that is more. They had and the competitors, let alone Elon competing only in the midst of these competitors, are nowhere near that in terms of like percentages. Like you might like like literally you'd be like they could be doing well at like you're doing well at 6% out of 103%. You're doing quite well amongst all that who are like in the 16% arena. You're doing fabulous. That's what it's like saying, in other words. And basically, if Bitcoin can artificially create a bump for themselves, and guess who gets hurt? They get hurt. They take on the weight of that. And of course, when they go up, they have to take on the pressures of Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin ascends, send it from like jump from 80 to the 100,000 mark, they had to take on all of that pressure to. Of course, I don't think there was nothing they could do. We didn't hear any. It was like it was quiet during all this. Everyone was like running around and yeah. So and all throughout, from even like from I guess the 80,000 when they were saying it's like no, 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 no. I'm getting a very different message coming through. See, I read for all of the coins when it was just coming out. I was reading with another line, and nationalists were contacting me from all over the globe, asking me my opinion about all. They mentioned Doggy Coin, all of the coins, Bitcoin, and I said, and they asked me several times each over, am I sure it's Bitcoin? And I was so sure I went into details. I said, you must understand, don't mistaken. This is not like Bitcoin X or Bitcoin 2. It's the original Bitcoin. And what it will do is it's going to not only beat out all these other 6, 7, 8, 12 other ones you're mentioning, they will be nowhere near close to them, and they will literally drive the market. They were like couldn't it was like they couldn't fathom this information. I was like, just you'll wait and see. It'll play out. And then Bitcoin started doing well, then they would call back and they would like, are you sure? Because they were like, my friend and I were considering, because he was in the South America somewhere, another friend is somewhere somewhere maybe in a European country, and they were beginning to circulate. And I was like, okay, test with other ones, but isolate Bitcoin, and know and please take my words, my predictions, and distinguish when I'm talking about Bitcoin versus like a doggy coin. I couldn't get on board. They wanted doggy coin to be like my number one pick, but I stuck true. I stayed true. In fact, whenever during the pandemic, I talked about this with um, my then manager because I took on a job, and guess what? He did. He left his management position to go into Bitcoin. He sure did. My manager left his job, told me he would miss me. And I was like, I'm gonna miss you too. And went and pursued Bitcoin. So I'm serious when I talk about Bitcoin. I'm so for real. I'm so serious. Hmm. Hmm. So I'm so happy to be back in the psychic industry. So I'm back in the psychic industry, and as y'all know my story, I was trying to, because I didn't know if the bigger companies even like I just felt like I was just like kept out, like somehow I ended up on a discriminatory list because I know that such a list exists, and they know you by name. They got you on file, of course. I was like, and they will circulate that, but and what ends up happening is all of the years that I had contemplated, even a company that for some reason I was viewed as doing just as well as the company I was with at the time, which was the highest. I met no other company has served higher than that one. And the company that I'm with, that I wanted to be with, I was like, either it's the same or better. And something's like I feel so drawn to it. So many years later now, that's the company that chose me. The other company that I was kind of like I was settling because I was like, since I have to come back to the industry, I'm already doing things. I mean, it's so bad not being embraced. I actually had to go to Europe, which I'm happy that I did. And then I applied with I think a few other ones, and I was like, I don't. I was like, they're not gonna. I know they're probably not gonna wanna. The most that they'll probably do is if they'll is interview with me, and then what I'll do is I show them, that how excellent my readings actually are. They're completely exceptional, flawless, and my predictions come true. And I just read them like I read my clients. And so I did it, and I was like, I just felt good. I was like, it just felt good to do it. I said, I'll just focus on the one I have. I'm thankful for the company that I'm with now, the one from out there in Europe. 8 months or so later, yeah, they just okay. I did this in February, and then they contacted me at the end of November, like it was actually, oh no, not end of November, end of October, because I didn't actually start taking calls for them until like the 12th of November. So it was October 31st. I sent everything to them on the Day of the Dead, November 1st, and then they said, okay, you're going through orientation now, so you're actually in. And so yeah, so officially I was, you know and I'm telling you, it's now I know why universe like guided me very cautiously into this new one, because it's everything. It's like all of my companies that I've worked for in one, probably the companies I ever will work for, and every great idea that I would come up with that would help the job be easier and more better experience for the client, is they have it built in, and without even me expressing what that is. Yeah, uh, all the way to having a coach. The other ones, they don't have a coach, and they really were like absolutely rude when it comes to um, like asking like questions, or if they make a suggestion, they're like, well, let's work together and talk about how we can better work together, to fulfill the objective. And they're like nowhere to be found. There was like a very bad experience. Like if customers care is as great as the care for us, between the relationship between the company and the psychic themselves, which is very important to me. Well, anyway, to get into a more positive space, that's what the current company is like. Like, like what do they call it? Unequivocally, they support the psychic unequivocally, given all the resources to be successful. So yeah, so I'm going to continue to work to definitely build on this one. And this last time, oh boy, this or the Sunday, oh gosh, I was so busy. So now I know, and the clients, I love them, every single one of them. It's like being in a very different space. It's like this is highbrow, and I'm almost embarrassed that I compared the two. The one I was with that's really great. They created a very, like all the companies actually, but just the company I was with them longer, where they created a very toxic experience between the psychic and the clients. Very toxic work environment. And then also working with the company itself was very toxic. Well, this one is like it reminds me of growing up in the metaphysical community, where I would do psychic readings, right, for the public, and people will come in. You all walk in into those spaces. You feel very spiritual. You're very kind. You're generous. You're good to each other. You're helping each other. And you have serious questions, but it isn't toxic. And they have a respect for the psychic, for the spiritualist. Like that is also important to me these days. And yeah, they're just so warm, and I just want to just it makes me want to actually like do additional work for them. So I'm able to do like these. I do like kind of like these angelic messages. I just started. I think it's one of my gifts that for this year, because this is the first year that I've actually been able to do it. So I'm able to do like 900 characters, which is about roughly like 2 paragraphs, and I can do this for any of the clients because I'm claircognizant, which means I have the ability to tap into knowledge. beforehand, and I also have the true gift is remembering every reading. Well, the company I'm with has AI features. They have AI, and so it puts all my conversations into where I can see them, and I can also add my own unique notes as well. So what I do is first of all I remember everybody, but it kind of keeps me organized of who I'm sending very unique and spiritually guided messages to. And so yeah, I can keep it in order, and I'm making sure that I'm engaging every one of them uniquely. So yeah, so I'm right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting ahead of that, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. And and then eventually I'll be able to make sure I'm doing that at least like within a week's time. So yeah. Anyway, this is like I think either 1 month for me. It's been 1 month. So yeah. Anyway, so it's happening. It's coming together in the way that it should. Whoa. Okay, so it has been 1 hour, and I still have another one to do. So I'm going to end this one, and yeah, I'm going to end this one and then start up another one. I gotta do the next one um, very quickly because I'm kind of on a schedule here. hmm I'm on a schedule. I'm on a schedule. Okay, but I will come. I'll be back. I will be back. I promise. Yeah, there's so much that is happening, and making sure that all of the readings are accurate and things of that nature. Just having a great time, reading for people. This morning, I'm doing my little readings, and I gotta make sure that I keep everything organized. Money is starting to flow through. It's starting to flow through here, so I gotta keeping everything orderly. Make sure that the Trump administrations are gonna be, get their cut so that we have no issues. Because I have a feeling that people will come for my powers. I've gained additional powers over the course of the span of October and November. So yeah, this year. So additional abilities, and I still got to get through December. And so I've learned formula, um, some psionics. My psychic abilities working alongside with AI. That's nice. So I'm able to do angelic messages now, and I've done a batch full, and I did it. Wow, I mean, yeah, actually contacted me. They were so surprised. Like the ones who reached out already, they're like, "You remember me?" It's like, yes, that's the real gift. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll be back.